Look who's back. Okay, so I know I haven't been around much. I've been completely MIA on the YouTube front for a variety of reasons. One of them being this. I recently got engaged, so I've been pretty busy planning a wedding. In addition to working 3 jobs and writing, I don't even know how many books I'm up to now, but enough to keep me busy for the rest of my free time. However, I was tagged by Jesse Elliott over at Living Within Fiction to do the writing habit tag, which is what you're watching right now. And rather than bombard you with all of these, introductions and I guess excuses you could call them, I'm just going to jump right into it and we'll just take it from there. Question number 1: typed or handwritten? Typed, always typed. I used to do a lot of handwriting when I was in high school, when I was in class and I should have been listening to the teacher and I was actually writing instead. But those days are gone, and so since then I've taken to typing everything either on my laptop or on my phone, which is where I've been doing the bulk of my writing lately. This next question is kind of moot because, as we already established, I don't generally write by hand. But if and when I do, cursive or printed, I don't even know how to describe my personal handwriting style. It's kind of loopy and whimsical when I'm writing really quickly, and then if I have to write something for someone else, it's printed and very legible, and people say it's the neatest handwriting they've ever seen. But I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. But you know what? For the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna say cursive because, as I said, I have a lot of thoughts running through my head, and I need to keep up with them. So we're gonna move on to the next question, which is, show us your favorite pen. Full disclosure, I'm actually really cheap. Okay, like there's no shame in my bargain game. So my favorite pen is probably also the cheapest pen I've ever owned. And come to think of it, I don't think I even bought it. I think I stole it from someone by accident. But it's just like 25 cents or 10 cents or however much it costs. Grand and Toy blue ballpoint pen. I don't know why. I just found it. Like I said, I don't even know where I found it. I think I stole it from someone else. But it writes really nicely. That's the important thing. Nice blue ink, and it just flows so beautifully, and it just it's like everything you could possibly want in a pen, and it's dirt cheap. Question number 4 now, which is, where do you like to write? Not in here, I'll tell you that much. I do tend to do a lot of writing in the living room, which has better lighting, and a couch, which is more comfortable. And I do tend to do a lot of writing on my phone, again, as we already established. So, if you're going to just hunker down and write for a few hours, you might as well be comfortable. And I'm very comfortable on my big, cushy couch, which is the first real piece of furniture I've ever bought for myself. So, living room. Living room, every time. Who are your 5 favorite authors in terms of authorial style? Lawrence Hill, Jodi Picoult, Kayla Tossini for sure, my all-time favorite author. Probably Sarah Dessen. Of course, I do write young adult fiction, and she writes young adult fiction, so I just really love her young adult voice. How she just connects with readers in that way. And a fifth one. Honestly, guys, I'm not really getting a lot of time to read right now, so it's kind of hard to answer this question. Trying to think, I don't even have any books in here. This isn't even my office, but yeah, I mean, I guess those 4 would probably. They're the first ones that come to mind, so we're just gonna stick with that. And sorry, I can't think of a fifth one right now. Question number 6 asks, "What are your 3 favorite books on writing?" Um, can't really name 3 right now, but the very first one that came to mind is actually this one right here. It's called The Elements of Style, and it's basically just a little pocket handbook. It has all kinds of like rules and tips and advice and whatnot for kind of navigating the common, issues of faux pas around fiction writing, and also nonfiction writing as well. It's pretty handy. You can use it for pretty much any kind of writing. Question number 7. Have you ever competed in NaNoWriMo? Last year was my first year entering, and as most of you probably already know, I entered the Spirit Catchers as a work in progress, and it was a new story, but I'd already written, I think, about 30 or 35,000 words for it, so I thought, you know what, this will probably give me some incentive to actually finish the darn thing, so I entered it, and I think I fell short of the 50,000 word goal by about 4,000 words, so I was this close. Unfortunately, as always seemed to be the case, I had a lot of other things going on at the time, so I wasn't able to finish it, which kind of answers the next question, which is, have you ever won? No, I have not, but I do intend to enter again this year, and if I can win, well, that would be great, but ultimately that's not why I entered the first one. It was just basically to give myself a kick in the ass so I would actually finish something. Question number 9. Have you ever had anything published? Yeah, well, right now I have 2 books in print. The first one being Fate Unwritten, which was published by Ample Publishing, and I'm going to leave the link to their website in the description below. That was published in October of 2015, I believe, and earlier this year I self-published The Spirit Catchers, which you guys probably already knew about. So yes, I have had things published, and I have self-published myself, which is essentially where I got my start. I had a feeling this one would pop up eventually. Question number 10. What projects are you working on right now? The very first story that I'm working on, which is, I think, about 15 or 17,000 words now, which is like a drop in the bucket compared to what it's supposed to be. The first one is called Dreamland, and it's basically a dystopian thriller slash science fiction fantasy story about this underground society that's basically on the brink of collapse. And my main character, Raven Carter, she's a doctor. She and her sister River are determined to find their father, who disappeared 10 years ago. And despite what everybody else told Raven, she doesn't believe that he was killed. She thinks that maybe he was just like exiled to another compound, or maybe he escaped and he was able to like I don't know, seek refuge or shelter in a nearby civilization or society. The other work in progress, which is the one that I'm trying to finish first because it's I've made the most progress with it so far, is right now being referred to as MMB3, which for those of you who have been following along on Twitter and know what I'm all about, it stands for Moving Mountains Book 3, which is the third book in my young adult series, and I have a wonderful beta reader who has been cheering me on and encouraging me to finish it, so I will finish it, I promise you that. Question number 11, what is your soundtrack to writing? I create a new playlist for every single work in progress, so it really kind of depends on how the story itself makes me feel. The Spirit Catchers has a lot of very dark music on it, like horror soundtracks, and lots of Sia. I notice I have this thing for Sia when I write really dark stuff. The whole Moving Mountains series is, like, I'm gonna say probably like 85% country, and if that's not your thing, that's okay. I totally respect that. I know it's not always the most popular genre, and admittedly, I don't even like it half the time, but I did find some pretty good stuff for that one. And last but certainly not least, number 12, do you have a writing pump up song? Um, Assuming that, like, a song that I listen to kind of get in the zone, I don't actually. And that's it. That's all the questions. If you want to leave more questions in the comments section, I will answer them. But otherwise, I need to write. I really need to write. My goal for this week, and it's very ambitious, but I really need to add like 20,000 words to MMB3. I am really glad that I did this. It really kind of helped me to think about what I'm doing, whatever it is that I'm doing. And I will see you all sometime in the future. Until then, keep writing.